Hello, this is a video response. I know it looks a little strange because it's a banana and a candle. However, I can't find the audio on this phone, and I'm not appropriate to show myself. But it's a video response to the Watchman Reports, which I watch frequently. And recently she commented on the incident that happened at Ride the Ducks. I've actually ridden those ducks with my children, and it was a good experience. However, it wasn't very safe. I'm not a swimmer, and we basically what happens is you go through a tour of the woods, and then at the towards the middle, the boat drives into water, a body of water, and I'm not sure what type. It's just a huge body of water. Then you go across and you see like a river boat there, and you see like um, other things, docks, and it looks really cool. And then you cross over to the other section of the woods, and then you continue on. So it was very sad what happened, and I saw, that a lot of people lost their lives that day. In particular, there was a woman who lost 9 family members. In the Watchman's Report, I don't know her name, Deborayah. She was pretty upset about it. So I wanted to respond because while we would all be upset about any death of someone, and it is a sad occasion for us, when we truly understand Yahuwah, we have to truly understand death and what it means. I used to be really afraid of death, and I ended up working around death as a registered nurse, and it made me look at it very differently. And with my experience with Yahuwah and the things he's shown me and the people that I've seen after they have died in my dreams, I know that it's just not it. So I want to start off that, death, when it occurs, for humans, it's horrible. We don't understand it. We don't want it. You missed your loved ones. You miss them, and you have all these emotions going, and you may be a little bitter, sad, or whatnot. But there are 3 reasons for death, okay? The first reason that it can be a blessing. And what I mean by that is some people have suffered for years or months or whatever, getting treatments, going through injections and chemotherapy, or just anything, just even having to attend the hospital every 3 months or something. That can become traumatic to a person. And I found some of my patients and family members view death as like that final release to freedom. Okay. So the second reason, it could just be their time to go. We all have a time. We clock in and we clock out. It's just what it is. Everything, almost everything has that on earth, and it's just a part of life. You have a time to be here. You have a time to be gone. And even though your time might be, you know, 400 years from someone else's, it's pretty much the same experience. So we all have similar tests that we have in life, and, blah, blah, blah. But we all have to make room for the next generation. So we can't stay here for 300 years. We have to go back to earth. And this is why I believe in natural burials. We have to go back to earth to become food, for, no, to fertilize the food for other people, blah, blah. We all know that. So, and the third cause can be, which a lot of people are uncomfortable with, it can be a punishment. And we know in the Bible it says that he took, he opened up the earth and swallowed a man's whole family. And so, I'm not going to dig into that deeper, because I don't want anyone to try to say that I'm saying that that's what happened here, because I'm not. And I never judge why someone passed away, or why something happened to them, because we don't know. So you don't know if it's a blessing, a punishment, or it's just their time. So I don't even comment on why certain things happen to certain people. But I just kind of wanted to respond because she was very upset, and it bothered my spirit that she was upset. And I know she understands this, the aspects of death. But once you clearly accept it as a part of life, it should not make you very emotional, unless, of course, it's a close relative. And I would also like to quickly share a story. What happened with my grandma. We didn't like each other because of colorism. She treated me bad because I was too light for her, I guess. And, she said that I would be in special school. So fast forward 30 years later, she had a little suffering and ended up in the hospital. And, I believe everyone has to go through a little suffering because, everyone has to pay for their sin. And even if you say you're sorry, and I'm not saying her sin was just with me, but even though you say you're sorry, you still have to pay. So this is very normal that everyone goes through this suffering prior to death. But she went through suffering, and Yahuwah made it where I was the one that had to go in there and tell the nurses how to take care of her. And they listened to me because I was a fellow nurse. So, long story short, I went in there. I only went to see her when I felt that I wanted to. I didn't force myself to be fake, or, I had some family members mad at me, like I should have been more involved. And I'm like, she never checked on me, and she wasn't very kind. But I still went to see her when I felt the need. So, and I feel content with that. So long story short, during her passing, I walked in to her room to check on her. And when I walked in, the Bible was laying open on the counter, and I looked over into the Bible, and it said, "You're talking to the body." And she was still alive, like on the life support, and her eyes are blinking and everything. But it kind of opened my eyes up to Yahuwah. I realized, wow, some people's bodies are still doing the physical stuff, and they're not even here. And this was very, very comforting to me because it showed me that he, even in a tragic event like this, he can remove the soul from the body before the physical activities take place. So, for example, you have a child drowning. We don't know when he pulled that soul from the body. Just because he drowns the body, it doesn't mean the soul came out after the body drowned. It could have come out 5 minutes before. You just don't know. So after she passed away, so I saw that, but I still talked to her, and I knew she wasn't in there. She passed away. The day she passed away, I took a nap, and I dreamed that she was sitting on a couch, and there was a white line in between us, a bright white line, and she was holding a baby. I bent over the line and kissed her, and when I woke up from my nap, my mom called me and said that she had passed away. And I said, "Oh, I know, she came to say goodbye." But those things kind of opened my view of death, and I feel completely different about it since I had those experiences. I dreamed of my grandmother up until about a year ago, and every time I dreamed about her, she was holding a baby girl. The last dream I had about her, she was sad, and she had the baby girl with her, and I did not understand why. And being silly, I thought it was because she wanted people to visit her grave. Well, that's the body. So, come to find out, I was pregnant, and I ended up having a little girl. And I really believe that she had some interaction with the little girl, and this is why I've never dreamed of her again. And the little girl's here. I'm not sure if this is the case, but it's just, I don't believe in coincidences. I know people do. But we all have different experiences. You should not judge one person over another. But that's it for today. Excuse my background. I hope you enjoyed the banana and the candle. Deborah, this is definitely a message for you, and I hope it makes you feel better.